It is Sunday of Good Guys weekend. We spent all weekend with the truck and the Chevelle at Good Guys, and our friends are still there having a great time. But we are electing to stay home and taking the 5.7 out of the F100. We're gonna get started on this motor swap. And yeah, it's hopefully gonna go as smooth as the Texas Speed transplant did. But shout out to all of our buddies that are having a great time at Scottsdale, but we are in work mode. The 5.7 is out, took a couple hours. The dog is sleeping. Oil pan is off, and we are putting the F-body, right? This is an F-body pan?
Yes.
The F-body pan on the 6 liter. This is a truck pan that's gonna go back on the 5.7. And an upgrade we did on both vehicles, I don't know if you can see it, there it goes, improved racing. So in both vehicles, we put improved racing baffles in the oil pans.
Baffle oil pans.
Yeah, just for
Oil pan baffles.
a little bit of extra insurance because
Little oil control and little extra.
try and keep the oil in the middle of the motor where it's going to pull from when we're doing some hard turns and stuff. So that's one minor little mod that we did to the oil pans. It's a really simple setup. And eventually, it's on the list of things to do. Both motors are going to get oil coolers on them too, but we realized that we have to buy a new steering column for the truck, which is going to be an extra expense because we're probably going to go ahead and upgrade that so we don't have to continue to replace crappy Chinese replacement parts constantly. So that's what we're in the process of doing. I think we're going to slam this on. Are we putting the other one back on the other motor?
Probably. Yeah. Try to
All
get
right,
it
so
we
we're
can
going to get
set 'em
both
down.
pans back on just so we can cover some holes and then call it a night. But not too shabby for, let's see, what time is it? 5 hours worth of work. A little bit of progress here and there. So it's been 2 weeks since the last time I filmed, and in typical fashion with doing an engine swap, or honestly for us doing anything at this point anymore, we run into a bunch of issues. So it was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving that we got the engine in. And we spent way too long out in the shop that night because we ran into problems getting the engine mounts where they needed to be, and then the transmission didn't want to go in where it needed to be, and finally got it all secured, high-fived, went in the house. We're like, yes, tomorrow we're going to get some stuff connected to it and coils and wires and whatnot and maybe get it running. And then Mike got sick. And Mike got the flu, and we missed Thanksgiving, and then I got the flu, and then we were down for a week, and then we had a brief little trip last weekend. As you can tell, I'm still not 100%, but whatever. So we came home last weekend and realized that the throttle body didn't fit with the front drive accessories. So Mike had to order a spacer to get the throttle body to fit. Then we had MEP sensor plug issues, and he's in there putting the tune in. It's just a bunch of stupid little things that always come up whenever you're doing an engine swap, whenever you're really doing anything in your own garage, doing your own thing. So, I don't know. Are we going to get it running tonight?
I think so.
Maybe we'll get it running tonight. Maybe not. I don't know. It's got fluids in it. We've got everything plugged together. We hope. He's letting the truck down and not telling me. So, yeah. We went from, we're going to get it running by the end of November to it is now the 8th of December. We're 2 days away from our last SCCA event. And I have no idea if it's going to run. So,
Run.
yeah, sure.
Runs. Sure it runs.
Well, we know the engine itself runs, but whether or not we actually did everything right, because as we learned the hard way, and we should know by now, but not all S's are created equal, and stuff that's on the 5.7 is not on the 6 liter, and the LS3 intake doesn't like
Truck stuff.
just truck accessories, and plugs are different, and you know, just stupid little things like that. So hopefully it does run. Hopefully, well, the battery's connected because the blinker's on. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. Oh. Turns over but doesn't run. Really? Nope. Still a map sensor? Cool. Oh, there's always something. How do you know if it's reading it?
See that number?
Uh-huh.
When it pulls vacuum, it should move. So it's not even in the map. 3.
So what we think is the problem, and yes, we already tried to rewire it, but we just switched the 1 and 3 wires and not all 3 wires. The sensor was originally wired as per the LS1 mat plug, and this is an LS3 intake.
And the sensor's different.
And the sensor's different, and the sensor is wired differently. So pulled out our little book on our Terminator X and figured out what each wire does, and realized, oh, well,
We got some mixed signals here.
we have some mixed signals, so our map sensor wasn't reading at all. So
Not happy with this.
hopefully this actually fixes it. Otherwise, I might just be sad.
Yeah, well, no, we can always do the internal.
I mean, we can always just, you know, set fire to it and start over again.
Yeah, we just use the internal. Always another answer.
You never just let me set fire to things.
Nope.
This is absolutely no fun. So, yeah, if you're going from an LS1 to an to a 6 liter with an LS3 intake on it, just know that your wiring,
May not read right.
yeah, your wiring is completely different because stinking GM had to pretend to be Ford and change something that really didn't probably need to be changed.
Really didn't.
That's such a Ford thing to do. Shame on them. So we'll get this wired up and try again.
Right.
So that was what? A whole new sensor?
Yeah, we put a new, either it was a bad sensor or it didn't like us miswiring it, one or the other. And then,
I blame the sensor.
that's likely. I was talking to Chris. He said that a lot of times those sensors are DOA when you get them. So I just need to put a new vacuum cap on it.
Well, it runs now. So we, rewired the sensor 17 times last night for well, the plug for the sensor itself to be bad, but hey, it runs.
Works now.
We can go for a drive. I'm on the way to the grocery store because I need gas, and you know, why not just take the race car to the grocery store? But we're a week out from the first test drive with the F100. Took it to an SCCA event, and honestly, I didn't think there would be that big of a difference between the 5.7 and the 6 liter. Because, yeah, there's a jump in horsepower, but, you know, it's an autocross track, whatever. I was wrong. So I didn't realize how unresponsive the 5.7 was. I'd ask it for power on the course, and there'd be a lot of hesitation, and then all of a sudden there was power delivery, like, right then and there. So, you know, I think my driving style was compensating for somewhat unpredictable power. The 6 liter, when I ask it for gas, when I ask it for power, the pedal, she delivers. She delivers when you ask for it. So it lends for a more stable driving experience. And I struggled on the course for sure, but wow, like, I love it. I love the 6 liter. It's going to take me, I'm hoping, it sounds weird because everybody wants to upgrade their race